Hello, it's your girl, Wanda D, coming back at you with another interview. Let me put my name up here so you know me. Let me put her name up there so you know her. You will never forget her name, Yumi from Flex and Fly. Hey girl, Wanda, Black Women Travel. We are a community, Black women digital nomad entrepreneurs. I also have a membership, official Nomad Crew membership. We also have a podcast, Black Women Travel Podcast. We also have a conference. The International Black Women Travel Jubilee is coming up this weekend. Okay, so that is Saturday and Sunday, December 4th and 5th.
So excited.
This bright star is going to be with us on Sunday, December 5th at 11 a.m. Eastern sharp. And guess what she's going to be teaching? Tell us about yourself, please.
Hi, everybody. My name is Youmie Jean Francois. Excuse the tiredness, but it's 4:45 of business, okay? So,
because I'm successful.
I have a rest. My rest time is coming in Q1, January. But my name is Youmie Jean Francois. I'm the founder and CEO of Flex and Fly, a travel wellness company that provides stretching, meditation, and yoga classes at the airport before you fly out internationally and domestically. We also provide in-flight wellness programs and have our best-selling minimalist travel products. And I'm really excited about that. My desire is to expand the face of wellness, but really be the face of travel wellness.
Trademarked. Bam. Travel wellness.
Everything trademarked.
So don't try.
Yeah,
okay?
Try
if you do, you'll hear from the lawyers.
You'll
okay?
Youmie,
tell us about your delicious life. Like, what led you on this path to travel and wellness?
You know, it was a gradual transition, I would say. I was a professional backup dancer. So moving my body, dancing for celebrities, you know, getting on buses and trains and planes to get to city. And, you know, that does a lot to you mentally as well as physically for your body. And I noticed that the way I ate and the way that I traveled when I ate was two different things, and it affected me. And I also didn't like the chaos that I felt and saw inside of airports. And so I was like, you know, we could bring a little peace in here. And I love, like, my favorite places, two places. My favorite place is the library. I think I've told you this, as well as the airport. I could be there all day. First of all, I think the way they've created airports is just so marvelous. Obviously, not every airport is bomb, but the major ones, you know, in major cities are pretty fancy, you know, whether you're having some sort of lounge or like just the way the architect is. I just absolutely love it. But I didn't like that there wasn't an option to take care of myself, like having French fries and burgers and beers and, like, you know, food. Like, that's just like the worst thing to be having. While you're on hold, while you're waiting, while your plane is delayed. Like, I just think that wellness isn't something that should be optional or selective. It should just be, and you should have it, right? Like, and I think at the airport, people are just like, oh, well, here's a smoothie, but there's plenty of sugar in there and it's going to cost you $40, right? And I just was like, no, this is a lifestyle. My lifestyle includes traveling. So I have to make sure that my lifestyle, where I really appreciate wellness, is also included. And so on my way to Morocco, I was heading to Lisbon, Portugal, and I stopped in Morocco for a bit. And that was where Flex and Fly came into my mind. I saw a man doing what I like to call the... either the downward dog or he was in child's pose. He was, because it's a Muslim country, so they let them go and pray. And I remember seeing him just stretched out, praying with his head down. And I just was like, wow, this would be so amazing if this was a stretching class right here. And I wanted to also build community. So I didn't want it to be a solo thing. Like, I didn't want individuals stretching by themselves. Although that's nice, I think community everywhere is something that I desperately desire in all ways in my life. And wherever I can create it, I find ways to create it. And so creating a class, creating literally like a yoga, stretching, dance studio at the airport was what I wanted to do. So I did it.
So where are your physical locations now?
So we'll be launching next year after many delays, but we're starting off first at JFK and then in Newark Airport. And currently we're talking to many different locations that's coming because we get a lot of requests, but we're coming. Wherever you want us, trust me, if you want us, wherever you are, all you have to do is write your airline or ask for us, and trust me, they'll come to us. But we're coming. The goal is world domination, right? Like we want to be in every airport, every terminal, right? But it's pretty big. We're gonna start off in one terminal and just grow, and I want to say that I'm actually a small business owner. I plan on being a corporation. That is the goal for Flex and Fly. Eventually will also be franchised. So you too will be able to own Flex and Fly at some point. I'm not going to be a small business forever, but I'm entering this space as a small business owner. And if I can tell you this, it is no joke. It is no joke. I'm battling and I am going against some big dogs all the time. And most of the people in the airport already have had a brick and mortar outside of it. They've already had a lot of success outside of it. And so there's a lot of doubt. I have to convince a lot of people that the idea that I have and that wellness is not just a fad, right? Like it's a necessity. And that someone that looks like me is going to be the person that take it all the way home.
That's amazing. Imagine a Black woman not having that brick and mortar prior experience and rolling up to JFK and being like, you need me. So where do I sign the paperwork? Like, what's good?
Oh, I wish you would see the paperwork. I mean, you have to bid. Okay. You have to bid at the airport. And then you have to go through what I like to call giving your bloodline. And and then eventually they try to offer you a space, and then you have to ask for a space, and each square foot costs money.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people this all the time because it needs to be clear. I need money. The type of money that you can't think of. Okay? Because it's quite expensive. I need millions and millions of dollars for what I do. You guys already know how much it is just to get a bottle of water at the airport. There's a reason for that. Space costs money. Okay. So, it's just way more money than many people can imagine. And honestly, for a very long time, I was nervous about that because I was like, how in the hell am I going to get this money? Because the idea is good. And even if they want me, where's this money going to come from? And thankfully, I'm a boss and I find ways to make things happen.
Okay.
And it's happening, but I want to take it where I want to take it. And I'm really excited. I feel like this season that I'm entering in is the yes season.
Let's all receive that. Come on.
Yes, the yes season, because we all know what the no season is like. Okay.
And we all know what it is to tell ourselves no. Before we even get to the yes on the outside, we have to say yes to ourselves.
Yes, inner.
So sometimes we hear the no from ourselves before we hear it from others.
Let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. My business is 3 years old. For almost 2 years, my business is a service-based business. Should have went completely bankrupt and just died because the airport was obviously severely affected because, like every other business, because of the pandemic, and so my idea that I originally had to completely change, and I had to alter a lot of my business plans. So I've had a lot of challenges, and I've had to talk to myself often, like, yo, the vision is still the same. if you have to be patient and wait for the next step, wait for the next step. But the vision is still the same. And that's something that I feel like I learned so much through the pandemic, like many of us. But what I learned the most was that I don't like that much change, right? Like as a person, I'm spontaneous, but I don't like change. I'm very stable. I'm a Taurus. I like ground. I'm grounded. I like the earth. I like to feel it. Okay. And I learned that even though I don't like change, I'm really good with change. Which is weird, which was weird for me. I was like, oh, this isn't gonna work. All right, great. I have a 10-year business plan. Thankfully. Let's go to the next step that we had. And that's what I did. That's what I've been doing throughout the last 2 years. So my original plans for the last almost 2 years had to be on hold. So I had to go and pick out of the rest of the 8 plans that I had. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what has kept us afloat and successful. And honestly, it's been quite successful. I've been able to get in certain rooms that wasn't happening before. We've grown tremendously. Our brand itself, our products continue to sell out every single time because I knew that I was building a huge corporation with Flex and Fly. That is the thing. Like when I talk about brand, I'm talking about we're in every market. We're doing all type of stuff, right? So we're starting off at the airport, but that's not where we're staying. So the vision is 10 years long. And every single day I have visions and I pray and I meditate and I get new ideas. And so I'm really excited that as a Black woman that I am fearless with my ideas, you know, because sometimes your ideas can make you be like, wait a minute. And then I'm like, oh no, this new, let's try this, you know? And so it's exciting.
And this isn't your first business.
No, I sold my last 2 businesses. This is my 3rd. This is the one I'm keeping.
Talk to us about what you have had to ground into or what you have had to unground yourself, because sometimes us grounded people, we need to dream a little bit more and maybe have a bit more spontaneity in our lives, right? Maybe we're a little too grounded.
Yeah, so see, I am quite spontaneous. I didn't like change because I like peace. Okay? And sometimes change don't come with peace. So I was like, I mean, the whole pandemic was a major change for all of us. And it didn't come with peace. For some people, they learned to find peace in it, right? And they were forced to surrender. There was a lot of forcing, like it forced people to do certain things and look at certain things they weren't looking at. Whereas for me, I just was like, oh, this is putting a hold on what I want to do. I got to thug it out. Like, I got to create. That was my mindset throughout the whole pandemic. Create. Then I created. I moved to Colombia, so that's why I live part-time. I knew already that I didn't want to spend any more winters in New York City. Like, as much as I love my life, I love New York, but I've given it my winters enough. And I was like, yeah. And as a Black woman, I thrive in the sun. I need my vitamin D. It's shutting down and getting dark at 3:30. It just doesn't work for me. I need the sun. I need it on my skin. I feel happier. And we all know what vitamin D does for you. It's incredible. I was able to think differently. I was happier. I was able to do a lot more. And I realized that I really am someone, you know, when people say, you know, I'm my ancestors' wildest dream, you know, when people say that, I always say that I'm their manifestation. I'm not just their dream. I'm their I am what they manifested. And it's my duty to strictly walk in that. I literally am consistently creating the life that I am worthy of.
Mm.
not just the life that I want.
Mm.
Because
And so talk.
I think many people tell you, create the life that you want, create the life that you see. Create like you can't always trust what you want sometimes, especially when you're going through certain things in life.
Mm.
We're not always operating in the fullest version of ourselves, right?
Mm.
So it's really important to create the life that we're genuinely worthy of, because that's pure. Worthiness
Mm.
is not something you earn. You
Mm.
are.
You here right
where
now.
where
And right
right,
now. And right
exactly,
now.
right. Exactly. So it's not something, there's no validation attached to me becoming something. When I have an idea, it's not it's not a test, and it's not God saying now go do it. It's a
Mm.
confirmation.
Mm. Of
When
what
when
already is.
Yeah, because it already exists. God is literally telling me, like, oh, I just want to show you what already exists. That's what our ideas are.
Mm.
They're not special. Like, you're the one that we're giving it. You know what I mean? Because there's this thing where everybody want to be the first and very, very special, and it's just like, no, just be yourself. Like, being yourself is really amazing. Being yourself is what creates amazing opportunities and new things and things you could never imagine, because you being the purest version of yourself is how you walk in your worthiness.
Mm.
And so many people are too busy being led by the ego of validation, and
Mm.
that worthiness is constantly fighting with ego. like
Mm.
like, why am I fighting with you about who I am?
Mm. One of my favorite therapists says that you're not a car, you don't need to be validated.
Right. Right, exactly. But we've been conditioned that we do, because even
Mm-hmm.
in our work, I never introduced myself as who I am with my work. I said what I do is,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I
Not
am
who I
the
am.
founder of. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I never tell people, when people's like, "Oh, who are you?" I don't say what I do. That's not that's not who I am.
Who are you?
I am someone that constantly reminds people of their power.
Mm.
That's who I am.
Come on.
That's who I am. Yeah.
Speaking of which, that's exactly what you'll be teaching on Sunday, December 5th, for the International Black Women Travel Jubilee. So get into it, honey. What's the name of the session?
Ooh, honey, this 10 reasons why you're not manifesting. Why your manifestations ain't happening. Now, I know a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people talk about manifestation like it's a fad too, like, oh, this is the new thing, but please, it's not new. It's been existing. I live a life of manifested. Like, there isn't anything that I have in my life that I haven't manifested. And I don't take spirituality out of it. I don't separate the universe um and call the universe God. That's just not how I work. I think nothing can happen without like, what I believe is the universe works for God in conjunction with his will. And so for us, many of us, manifestation seems so hard for a
Hmm.
lot of us, especially Black people.
Hmm.
A lot of Black people, because of the spirituality of Christianity and everything else that they've learned, they don't really understand what manifestation is, and it seems like so taboo, or like different forms of spirits. And also, we've been conditioned that hard work is the way to succeed.
Hmm.
And so the idea of having a different mindset about actually releasing, surrendering is like, hell no, we ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? And I want to teach people, you've heard of work smart, not hard.
Hmm.
You've heard of all those type of things, but what does it mean to really surrender? What does it mean to really believe that something is yours? What does it mean to believe that something is inevitable? A lot of people don't know what that means for them. Most people believe that the reason why certain things happen for them is because they worked hard for it.
Hmm.
And that's the only way it can happen.
Hmm.
Where I believe in alignment, and I believe in It's not what I see, it's what I say. Because if I pay attention to what I see, there's a lot of things that won't work out for me. It just won't work out. But if I believe in what I say, because I truly believe in what you say, and if you're consistent with it, you will see a change. I mean, it's been proven so many times. But also learning to manifest from true humility versus ego. Because a lot of people manifest from ego too. And they don't understand why it doesn't last. So you can get something, but it doesn't last. And a lot of the times it's because it's not alignment, it's through ego. And so I want to teach people the difference of that, because I think I'm exhausted by the idea of Black women feeling like they have to work so hard to be seen. I'm exhausted by it. I don't work hard to be seen. I'm too busy being me. I wake
Can you
up
put that on a
single
shirt?
day
You don't
doing
make
my
shirts,
routine.
but maybe that needs to be one.
Girl, you know what I say every single day? I'm a blessing to everyone I come in contact with.
But you was a blessing to yourself first. No, but for real, you
No,
talked to
I
me
really
before
am.
about how you
I
prepare
really
yourself for
am.
the day, how you ground into yourself for the day.
Daily. And then I wake up, I go and I speak to myself in the mirror, ask
Mm.
myself what I want for
Get
the
your
day.
Issa Rae on. Get your Issa Rae on.
Oh, Issa Rae took it from me. But
Okay.
I ask myself what I want. I have a real honest conversation with myself. I pray. And then, you know, I let it go. I'm not in the business of trying so hard. I'm in the business of receiving, of surrendering, of believing, of walking it out. Like, there's always someone ready to bless me. That's how I believe. There was always someone set apart ready to call my name out. Like, have you tried Yumi? Like, that's how I think people think of me. And so when it happens, I'm not shocked. I'm grateful. I give gratitude to what I know. I don't give gratitude for being chosen. I'm supposed to be chosen. I'm worthy of it. It's a whole different mindset. And it's not ego, because you have to be very careful of that, because some people will be like, you think this, you think that. Most of the time, it's people that could never imagine themselves talking that way. So they think you're doing too much. And it's like, all right, but my life looks like what you want. Where did you think it started at? Where did you think it began? It began with my mouth. It began with my mindset. I can't even, like, my friends, my best friends, because, you know, everyone I'm connected to is rich too. Like, I don't have broke friends. Like, I don't have anyone, like, that doesn't work. The great poet Jay-Z said,
Girl. Not the
you know,
prophet.
he's a Sag. You know how y'all Sags go.
Okay, don't put my business on the streets. Thank you, Yumi. What did the man say? We center Black women, but we'll let this slide.
Yes, the great poet Jay-Z said, he always says, you know, everybody can tell you how to do it, but they never did it. And he says, and he also says, you know, over here, we say that you're broke if everyone next to you but you is broke. So if I'm the richest one on my block and my crew, I'm not rich. That's that's his mindset. Mm-hmm. So my friends and the people that I'm connected to, that I care about, I pray over. My success can't be the only one. I'm uncomfortable being the only successful one. My whole crew got to be right. We got to fight over who's paying tonight. That's the type of vibes I'm in. Oh, where we going? Oh, we going to Albania? Oh, we going to Greece? Where we going? Oh, nah, I got it. I already sent it for you. I already sent you your tickets. That's the vibe. That's just that. Or when my friends are like, yo, something's up with my family. I need prayers. All of us come together. That village mentality, that community, everyone. I'm talking about wealth. Everyone connected to me is wealthy. That's in health and finances, mentally, emotionally, physically. We're making wise choices. You understand what I'm saying? I'm uncomfortable being the only one. Because when you're the only one, then you put yourself in a position where you always got to be the one that saves people. That's ego. I need people. I need help.
To look up to
I ain't
me.
doing
I
it
need
by
them to
myself.
idolize me. I need to be on the pedestal.
Or you're pouring too much on people. Like, no. Then you feel good about that. Then that gives you validation. No, just being me is enough. Just being me is enough.
How did you start to develop this language? So how do a little Black girl from Haiti
Yes.
cut through New York?
I would say my relationship with God. I would have to say that. I'm gonna have to say that to y'all. Like, my relationship with God, like, we just been through too much for me to doubt God. I feel like that would be a smack in his face. I became a Christian. I started reading the word. I started praying, and I started really building my relationship with God, like outside of everything. Because I left church. I stopped messing. I stopped all that. Like, you know what I mean? Because I was going through a lot. And I was like, oh, not every church is the same. Not what I'm reading is a little different over here. Like, you know what I mean? I've had church hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a different pain. That's a whole different pain that a lot of people don't talk about. But my relationship with God has always been consistent. I talk to God, he talks to me, and that is something I'm always going to stand by. I'm led by God. And honestly, this is also in the word, you know, as a man thinketh, so is he. Like, it's not new, you know, and it's not, you can't selectively pick passages and say it don't work. And then just being guided by God. Like, I've made so many mistakes in my life that there's just so many things I shouldn't have and I shouldn't be right now that I am. You know? And when you have that experience along with the relationship, you're not the same. You're not the same. You can't stay the same. Like, lack isn't something that you nurture when you have a relationship with God, because that's just not how it is. Lack is not of God. Like, so when you're constantly like just lacking, depressed and sad, like there's something off. It's kind of like when you're sick, there's something foreign in your body. Spiritually and mentally, when things ain't right, foreign. You hear that Spanish music, you know where I live.
Little shoulder action.
You
That's
see
just
how
for
the
you,
light
girl.
just keeps getting darker and darker?
No, I don't actually. I've been listening to the words. You focus on the aesthetics. I'm not worried about the aesthetics. I'm hearing the words that are coming out of your face. I'm feeling the spirit.
I cannot.
You shall try. So if you want to get some more of this, if you want to get more specific, if you want to hone into and tune into and dial into how many more?
We're going to do some work.
Okay, because these are workshops. These are not presentations. These are not people speaking at you. So come through.
You better get your auntie, your cousin. You get them some tickets. You're not even the same, honey. If you're ready to change, if you're exhausted by the life that you've been living, come through. Pull up.
And this is the website, Black Women Travel, no E in travel, blackwomentravel.com/IBWTJ. International Black Women Travel Jubilee happening this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, December 4th and 5th. Yumi session is taking place on Sunday the 5th, 11 a.m. sharp.
EST, right?
EST, Eastern. Come on. She'll get you right. She will get you tight.
I can't wait. And I'll look like I'm alive and I'll be looking good for
y'all. Girl, the light will be there, okay?
Yes. Yes, I'll be bright and early.
Thank you so much for speaking over us. Thank you
Of
for
course.
sharing your story and some of the challenges that you've been through
Yeah.
in creating your brand and how you've been able to build yourself from the inside out so that you can show up in this luxurious way. Usually she got on some silk, y'all. So
That's what I'll be wearing. But it's
okay.
cold and I just got in.
Right. Right. The winter is creeping up on you, girl.
Black women, start wearing silk, honey.
Okay. Get your luxuriation on. But
Oh,
thank you so
no.
much.
Love you. I'm so honored to be here with you. I'm so honored that you have me. Thank you for everything that you do for Black women in this space. I'm so grateful. I am so excited for you. Watch what happens after this conference. I know a lot of good is coming for you.
I receive it. I'm excited. I'm so happy. I popped some bubbles on Monday, honestly. I was just like, this is my week. This is the
Sure
week.
is.
It sure is. And I've been, girl, I got my little bay leaf ritual. I've been dancing. I've been chilling. I'm so excited. Yes.
So I'm so excited.
So,
We're gonna be doing all that.
hey,
Why do I
oh,
feel this way?
with a shoulder
They
out.
say,
Hold on. Can I? It won't stretch, but okay, that's fine. I'll just put that back there. Okay. Love you. Love you. Love
love
you.
you. Bye
Whole,
everyone.
entire